As this first round of university deadlines comes up for me, this week's video will be a short story, commonly known as Valentine's Day. The 14th of February marks a rather quiet celebration on the SkyTrain Network. Opened on this day in 1989, Columbia Station was the temporary eastern terminus of the SkyTrain line. That was, until the opening of the Sky Bridge out to Surrey a year later. At this point, it was a secondary hub for bus services into Coquitlam, much like how King George is a secondary hub these days for people getting onto the SkyTrain in Surrey. And until it opened, it was known as Fort Street. The name was changed just before opening to better connect it to Columbia Street. When built, this underground station was nothing much out of the ordinary. Narrow 80-meter long platforms, no escalators, and 3 exits. Upstairs to 4th Street and downstairs to Clarkson Street and the main exit at Columbia Street through what is now a medical building. And as 1990 rolled around, the tracks were constructed towards the bridge into Surrey, and an unsuspecting, tiny storage track was built on the inbound tracks. Coquitlam would get a train eventually. LRT or SkyTrain? Maybe just put one track there and just deal with the other switch when the time comes. But in the 1990s, continuing a line towards Lougheed sounded very unlikely. For certain, the next line would run along Lougheed Highway into Coquitlam. Then 1998 rolls around, and at the flick of a switch, the NDP settled on building a new SkyTrain line, 6 months into an 18-month study. The line, a combination of others presented, was going to bypass Coquitlam entirely, while branching off from our unsuspecting storage track. All this after other regions supported the LRT line into Coquitlam. And according to the NDP, their solution could be built faster without the need for much tunneling. It's safe to say TransLink and the other municipal leaders were not happy with the decision. And this put enormous pressure onto Columbia Station as a transfer station, as well as our unsuspecting storage track. So in the summer of 2001, a section of the eastbound guideway had to be removed to install the switch to the tunnel under Columbia Street. To make sure it was done safely, 6-car trains were sent 2 at a time across the Sky Bridge into Surrey. In 2002, the Millennium Line started service. From Waterfront, it split at the Junction at Columbia and continued around past Lougheed to Commercial Drive Station, where it met back up with the newly named Expo Line. The new line was completed $40 million under budget, but these days, not much has changed. On a given weekday, about 500 trains use the switches per direction, making it one of the most important junctions on the SkyTrain network, comparable to the likes of Lougheed and Bridgeport. As for Columbia Station, the layout remains subpar. For a station that remains poorly lit, passengers still have to go around and over to the other platform to change trains. And it wasn't until 2021 that an escalator was installed from the inbound platform to the main exit. Things are looking slightly better, as in that same year, TransLink revealed plans to expand the platform at some capacity. Obviously, and yet on an unfortunate note, this does not include turning it into an island station to make transfers more easy. And that is our story of Columbia Station and the unsuspecting tail track. I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.